Hey, oh everybody! How's it going? Is it going? Hey, oh. Yep, it's going. Woo! I'm a day early. It's time's traveling faster. Or actually, I'm not gonna be here this weekend at this place, so I've got to do the recording today, a day early. A day early and a buck short. Absolutely. Just gonna get that. And wait for anybody to show up. May not happen. May have to cut a lot of time out, but we'll give people a few minutes to turn themselves in. And if not, we'll just do it and you can watch the recording later. Because that's how you guys roll. If it's not an audience interaction, I can actually read quite proficiently. Quite proficiently. And get things moving. And it's still really loud. The music is trying to drown me out. Oh, and it went quiet. Okay, be that way. Woohoo! Anyways, guess it's time to get started. So what happened last time? Well, the assassins brought me to that bar, Wayfarer's Tavern. Wafers Tavern? Delicious wafers. Wayfarer's Tavern. And we met the owner of the tavern, named PB, which we won't get into what that means. You'll have to watch last episode to know what that means. Or allegedly means. I don't think... Power Bunny, that's what it means. Power Bunny. And then his brother, and we met the bar maiden who was teaching his brother, and a lot of different characters we introduced ourselves to, and we met Righty, a big burly bear man. Big burly bear man. And he told us that, well, he wants that the king is evil, and that we're gonna fight against him. Actually, he gave me a choice, and whether to stay with the assassins or to do that, or to just stay, or to join him. And apparently, my squirrel friend from the real world, quote unquote, the real world, he showed up too. So I chose, of course, to be with the blue squirrel dude and the bear, because you know they don't look like the type to be messing with. It's kind of like Thunderdome. It's like actually the bear's kind of pretty smart too, but it's not like Anyways, so yep, I think that's about it. We're gonna get started real good, and let's go. People will join when they join. Oh yes, and this guy's Riley's trying to get power, I guess. That was the last note we left on. Meanwhile, in the comfort of your tavern room. Meanwhile, back at the Hall of Justice. Oh. It took a few hours before the tavern came to a lull. I'm assuming it was the last call or something like that. I heard many doors open and close, and things got quiet, including the rooms of Edmond and Conrad. Were they going to sleep? Or were they going to listen in case something happens? I'm suddenly a little paranoid that I'm being watched. Oh well, it's not like I was doing anything illicit. I made myself comfortable in the luxurious bed. I'm not sure if I dozed off or fell asleep, but before I knew it, I jerked into coherence. There was a loud knocking at my door. I took crooked steps towards it, utterly groggy. I rubbed my eyes in an effort to make my vision clearer. The knocking starts to get more vigorous in nature. I can hear someone panting on the other side. It sounds like someone's panicking. This kicks me in a high gear and I rush to the door. But when I open it, I'm not sure who it is. Oh, thank goodness you opened the door. Another moment longer and... He pants heavily as he closes the door behind him. He locks it as well. That's a little concerning. Sorry, I promise you no harm. I can explain, please listen. He presses his back against the door. I'm assuming so nobody can open it with him in place. He holds a piece of torn fabric. It's stained with blood. What? My master went insane. He attacked me, tried to kill me. I ran to the nearest place I could find. I open my mouth to call for Endymon and Conrad. He gasps and steps forward, urging me to be quiet. He says he doesn't want anyone to know where he is. He steps towards the middle of the room. He places his hand on his head in confusion. Why? Why would he do this to me? Player was always a kind master. Player? That's the one Endymon and Conrad wanted to oust. He attacked his servant? Why would he do that? Suddenly I realized the urgency of the situation. If anything, this man's testimony could be invaluable. I asked him his name and gave him mine in return. Of course, my name is Riley. Thank you for your shelter, Tantroo. Okay, finally I gave someone my name before they spoke it. That's how things work. I nod. I start to feel uncomfortable near the door. I moved away and placed him between the door and myself. I stand against the wall, my back pressed against it. I won't be here long, I promise. I just need to gather my bearings. It was a shocking thing, you know? It's all just thrown me for a loop. You never expect these things to happen. It's so sudden, and I'm just scared. I noticed his demeanor suddenly changed. Almost like his panic vanished in an instant. He seemed to calm down rather quickly. He placed the bloodied fabric on the floor. Why in the world would he do that? I decided to ask him what he's doing. Sorry? It's just making me relive this. I gotta get it out of my hands for good. Or else I keep dwelling on what happened. He stands up and looks me in the eye. And it needs to look like you struggled. You'll have to forgive me for this. In that moment, and in an instant, he is upon me. He pins me against the wall, squeezing my throat. I start to panic and try kicking him off, but I can't. He uses his own feet to keep mine in place. Shh. I try to pry his hands up my throat, but he is strong. I start to lose my strength, my vision fading. I slide down the wall as my body becomes weak. He growls fiercely as I start to lose consciousness. The last thing I notice is the look on his face. He displays pure regret, like he didn't want this. In the last moments, I hope that someone rescues me. But it doesn't happen, and my vision fades for good. Sleep well, Savior. Oh, well, we're going here instead. Well then, Rayo. Things are becoming complicated. Many men aspire to usurp my throne. And this time, they're getting close. Closer than I've ever experienced. It's almost like a game to them. But it's trivial in the face of Argo. It's fun to watch, though. It seems Riley suspects you, but his theories are incredibly wrong. Indeed. Our fault for being secret. People think I have something to hide, or that I bear some sort of ill intent. Perhaps I should have been more open about this. I would have been more noble, at least. I'm going to turn down the volume just a teensy bit. The music is loud, and it's at 20% in the options. Noble, yeah, but not any fun. I like the idea of keeping it a secret. Ryo, my goal here is not to have fun. I seek a very important change. But my end of the bargain still stands. Yes. Earth is yours to play with. I have no need for it anymore. Not while Tantroo is present on Terra. Well, about that... I'll be sending Tantroo back to Earth. At least for the time being. Why? They have to keep up appearances. I can't just rob them from their home. We have to juggle here, Velasquez. They have 2 lives to live now. But don't worry, I'll bring them back. I just have a plan of my own to enact. A plan of your own? Indeed. Life on Tokyo is going to change. Things were just too boring before. I decided to shake it up a bit. I see. You'll find out what I mean soon enough. Things will get harder for Tantroo, but it will help them realize their role. Being the savior isn't all fun and games. A real danger will soon befall Tokyo, and it will claim the lives of many more. At the end of chapter? Oh, nope. Where am I? And what's going on? I remember getting choked unconscious by Riley. But then, why am I still conscious? I feel awake and disconnected. It's like my spirit left my body or something. I'm still fully aware of my surroundings, or at least the lack thereof. Even so, I feel disconnected from my body. Is this death? My body lies over the ocean. Anyways, I feel a large rush of speed. Much like the first time I was sent to Terra. This time, I'm able to bear the pain more easily. And as it subsides, I hit the ground with a thud. First, my sense of touch returns. I'm face down in some sort of carpet. I'm back at the hotel room. Yep. Wait, the hotel room carpet? Back on Earth? As my sense of sight returns, this fact is confirmed. My instincts were to rise to my feet, but as it stands, that's currently impossible. Oh, okay. Prediction time. I hate doing this to you, but like, here's the thing. The blue squirrel didn't return with me, and according to our theory, when bodies go over to the other worldly planes, they appear dead in the Earth world. So if Mr. Blue Squirrel Dude didn't come back, and I'm alone in a hotel room with the dead squirrel body, people are gonna think I'm the Midnight Murderer. This is the direction you're going, isn't it, author? Well, I don't know yet. Let's find out. I just like making predictions like that. Anyways, I try to move my hands, but they're frozen stiff. And I mean that in the literal sense. I am so cold. How long was I lying here? Did the hotel not have any heating? Did roomkeeping not even see me? After straining attention, I'm able to move one finger, and soon after that, I can move another, and then another. I focus on this until I can move all my digits. When this is through, I have control of my hands. I use them to push myself up. And then, soon after, I can move my feet as well. I bring myself up to a standing position. That was odd. Almost like I had to defrost. I scan the room and notice Keela lying on the floor. God dang it. Why do I have to be right? No! We're in the same spots as we were before. Like we hadn't moved since the news report came on. He's dead. But the sun enters the room through a nearby window. It's not night anymore. Day is broken. I rush over to his body and kneel down beside him. Here we go. I give him gentle shakes while I call out his name. He's frozen stiff, just like I was before. He's cold to the touch, like a lifeless corpse. I start to panic and shake him even more. My voice is becoming more desperate as I call out to him. Let me be really loud. Keela! Keela! Let me be really loud so that the hotel staff thinks that thinks that you're dead and then I'm the one in here. before I could report it to the police? Oh gosh, here we go. After a few straight minutes of this, he starts to move. Oh, okay. Maybe I was wrong. He follows the same procedure as myself. Okay, good. First the fingers, then the hands, and so on. Okay, I was wrong. Woo! Moments pass as he stands up in confusion. Huh? Well, I'm relieved that I was wrong. Because that would have been horrible. Huh? What happened? Did I just... He rubs his eyes like he's waking up from after a long sleep. He let out a yawn and a stretch and utterly confused. My body is so stiff. Mine is as well, but I brushed that fact aside. There was more important matters at hand. I asked Keela if he remembers about last night. Clace. I must have passed out in shock. I think it's all a blur. Please tell me that it isn't true. If he died, then what happens to us? I don't want to go home, Tantroo. I must have been dreaming. Please tell me I was dreaming. He grips my shoulder and shakes me a few times. It's like he's demanding something he knows isn't real. But I can't let him live in that sort of fantasy world. He has to know the truth about what happened. And so, I let him know that it was true. Clace passed away last night. He was murdered. No. I want him to come back. We have to bring him back. I'm not sure how to respond to him. It's clear that he's in denial. He starts to pace around the room, talking to himself. Soon enough, it seems like he's forgotten that I'm even here. But that's not the only thing he's forgotten. I realize Clace's death is all that he remembers. He doesn't mention Tara like it ever happened. Why would he forget if I remembered? Does it have to do with me being the savior? Or maybe you just thought it was a dream and just like, random dream, dude, whoa, okay. If so, then why was he even brought at all? It's very confusing, and I skipped the arc this time. I have no idea why, and I'm filled with questions. I thought I was needed in Terra to save it. I can't believe it. But I want to see that man again. How could I go about rescuing Kaylin if I'm on Earth? I just can't make up my mind which planet I want to be on. It seems like I'm a ping pong ball, and I just don't know which one I want to be on. It's like when I go to Terra, I want to be on Earth. When I want to be on Earth, I want to be on Terra. Make up your mind, me, make up your mind. Anyways, something about this just doesn't add up. Especially if Keela was right about that time difference. I'd have to get back there as soon as possible. There's no telling what could happen in my absence. I could have sworn that they said it was impossible to leave, that Terra was a one-way street, and that I'd be stuck. Hello? Before I can get too deep into my thought, the telephone rings. I pick it up instinctively and greet the other end. The ringing seems to shoot Keela back into reality. I know he zones out, but that was something else. Hey there, Tantroo. Jade is on her way to pick you up. She said she'll be there in 5 minutes. And don't turn on the TV, alright? I'm not sure if you heard the news or not, but the media's making a lot of stuff up. Better wait and let Singe and talk to Singe in person. He's making a public statement soon, too. Probably best if you waited until then. Either way, I have to go. See you soon. He abruptly hangs up the phone. I can hear lots of voices in the background. Things must be getting hectic for those close to Clace. I wonder if things would get hectic for us as well. Things were starting to get complicated and unclear. I started to wonder what fate awaited Keela and myself. Hey, who is that? Before I can answer, my phone rings again. I pull it out of my pocket, and this time it's a text. But the contents of it sends shivers down my spine. watching you. What? Who could this be? Why are they saying this? Has to be some kind of prank. Well? I let Keela know that it was just Rook. He said that Jade will be picking us up shortly. Singe will be telling us the full story. Actually, we should already be downstairs. Alright. See you down there then. He runs off as fast as he can. I can tell that he's in denial. He clearly doesn't want to talk about this. But after all that's happened, I can't blame him. Before leaving, I close all the blinds. I guess that text message got the better of me. Even if it was a joke, it would leave anyone scared. I leave the room, with paranoia eating away at me. I make my day down to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. As soon as I get there, I see Keela exiting the hotel. He seems to be in a hurry, scurrying away. He can run, but of course, he can't run forever. I start to follow him, but quickly bump into someone. I take a step back and apologize to the woman. Oh, is this the woman with the gear on her thing? But then I realize I've seen them before. Under the exact same circumstances as well. Yep. You. Oh, my apologies, that was rude. I'm just surprised to see you here. Tokyo must be smaller than we think. So you staying here too? I nod, remembering that Rook said it was expensive. If she could afford it, just who is this woman? You can call me Max. It's short for Maxine, but don't say that. Sounds strange in this day and age. I'm here for business, and let's just say my company isn't cheap. Only the best when it comes to travel. Oh, phew. Oh! Woo! You had me going there, lady. That's horrible. Sorry. The way she says this implies that she owns a company. That's definitely impressive, and she seems very young. I see you were on your way out. Why don't you carry on with your busy day? I didn't mean to hold you up or anything. Perhaps if I see you again, we'll talk. It would be nice to get more acquainted. Not just anybody can stay in this hotel. I'm sure you have a story to tell. And I have all the time in the world. Hello, DDX3. Smexy. We got two people here. She walks away from me with a smile. As she does, she plays with the gear on her necklace. And by the way, that gear, as I said before, is the same gear that the Relio has, the dude from the Ark. I feel like I've seen it before. It stands out to me. Yeah, from the dude on the Ark. Come on, me, get it together. I change my course back to the exit, but before I can get there, here's that dang phone again. It's a text message, as the tone doesn't repeat. I'm extremely hesitant given what happened before, but unlike Keela, it wasn't my nature to avoid things. This time, the universe will not sway in your favor, but mine. This doesn't make any sense. I can't believe it. Seems to be written with a knowledge of my power, but I've never told anyone about my situation. Does someone on Earth know what's going on with me? I played this game. You've played this game. No spoilers. I will attempt to spoil myself. Like, I am a writer too, so I kind of can predict certain things. I was wrong about the Keela being dead thing earlier. I'm wrong sometimes, but we'll keep on keeping on. I can no longer hope that this is a joke. There is more to play here than I know. Someone, somewhere, isn't being honest with me. I exit the hotel. I meet up with Keela, and we enter the limo together. I do all of this knowing I'm being watched. And that is much harder than it sounds. Chapter 4, The Stages of Grief. Wasn't chapter, if it's the fourth and it's the Stages of Grief, isn't that like bargaining or something? I can't remember the order. As soon as we enter, we take our seats. The first thing I notice is that we are not alone. Rather than the front, Unumi sits in the back. But he's not alone. He's sitting with someone new. Since I've never met them, I introduce myself. Oh, this is the new security guard dude. Who's this voice? Bader. I know who you are. Oh? I contemplate whether or not to offer my hand, but at first glance he doesn't seem like the type. As I've learned, not everybody's into handshaking. You're the lucky two. That requires a lot of dedication, you know? But that is the trait I admire most. He gives a wide smile to Keela and myself. He offers me his hand. I guess I was wrong. I accept and he leads it with a firm grip. Keela, however, does not and remains seated. I let this man know that Keela is in shock, especially after the events that happened last night. I understand. It must not be easy. By the way, you can call me Archeron. I was hired to ensure your safety. I'm told that you will learn more shortly. I'll refrain from giving anything away. Leaking information would be irresponsible. He reclines back in his trace with a relieving sigh. So we have someone to protect us now. That's awesome. Suddenly I'm not so worried about those text messages. He looks equipped enough to handle any trouble. But I still feel sorry for Keela. He's acting odd. I'm sure that given time, he'd come around. At this point, Jade starts the limo up and drives away. I'm not sure how long it'd be until we arrived. But I need to sort this all in my head. It's just freaking crazy. So from what I can tell, I'm now being watched. But this person seems to know about my power as well. That perplexes me because I thought it was a secret. In fact, I never told a single soul about the Ark. Maybe I was the only one who's been to the Ark. I wasn't the only one who's been to the Ark. Yeah, furries are awesome. Yay! There was more to this, and I just needed to know. Hopefully I would learn more as the day progressed. And with Archeron, if I could pronounce his name properly, to protect us, I'd be safe. I take a deep breath and close my eyes. At this point, Unumi breaks the silence. Hey, I have a question, Tantroo. What's 75 multiplied by 110? Really? Math questions, dude? Isn't it like frickin' 7,550? That's a guess. A woman asked me earlier. I didn't know. Whoa, I was not that good. I'm not in a good state of mental health to be doing mental math. And no matter what, that's just kind of an odd thing to ask. Maybe he found the silence in the limo a little awkward. Oh, nope, I was wrong. It's 8,250. It's 8,250, Unumi. Really? Yeah, absolutely. That's so cool. You're smart. My big brother used to help me with this, but he was just too busy all the time. That's quite nice of your brother. I'd like to meet him, Unumi. He's dead. It was Clay's. I'm sorry. My apologies. Oh, I have an idea. You could take over and teach me math. I'm trying to find a unique voice for him because that's kind of somebody else's voice. And Archeron, I'm trying not to go back to the bear dude, but I guess, I don't know. Some of the voices overlap. You could take over and teach me math. The teachers always said it was important. It could save your life, they told me. I suppose that's true. We'll have to see what happens. There's a lot on the table now. I'm looking forward to Sinja's speech. The silence will be broken by an official. He's the most qualified to speak about this. Singe is really smart. He knows what to say to make people happy. Maybe he can help me make me happy again. Yeah, it's never easy to lose a loved one. But I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. Not while you're by my side, Inumi. He reaches over and rubs the top of Inumi's head. His hair gets messed up, but he enjoys it. A white smile appears up on his previous sad face. Okay, now that makes me happy. I was scared for all of our safety. I was worried we'd be next or something. Not on my watch, okay? Everyone will be fine. He smiles again like everything is completely fine. Archeron is really nice through his cold exterior. I feel bad for judging him at first glance earlier. And Inumi seemed like he'd be fun to hang around with. But before we can continue talking, the limo stops. But wasn't long of a ride as I expected. Inumi gets up to leave, but Arcanon quickly interjects. Not now, Inumi. Please let me go first. It'd be rude to expose you to danger. I'll make sure the coast is clear, okay? Wow, what a gentleman. He definitely is good at what he does. As he said, he leaves the limo first. A few moments pass and he waves us all out. I'm glad that the coast is clear, danger-free. It was time to get some answers and meet Singe. Inumi scoots out first, and after that I follow behind. Keyleth seems like he's lost in his own little world, but eventually he follows, as an expressionless as a ghost. Well, I don't know, I've seen some pretty expressive ghosts. Outside we're greeted to the site of our home base. I guess this is where we'd spend most of our time. It looks beautiful, with a complex modern design. Gotta change the image? Save the game, yes. There were no decisions. So we're gonna save and overwrite. Can you subscribe to me, please? Yeah, I'll take a look at your channel after I'm done streaming. But as soon as we take some steps, the media is upon us. They're countless in numbers. It appears like they're trying to block our entry. They hold their microphones out, wanting answers. It's the Lucky Two! Hey, that's the news reporter from last night. The one who couldn't do his job properly. If you didn't see that one, that was episode 2 of this Let's Play. Yeah, he wasn't very good at articulating like a reporter normally does. He's the one who reported on the death of Clace. Contest winners, we need to talk! There's some allegations going around. They say this is just for publicity. Tantroo, do not engage with the press. They'll try and scare you into talking. But legally, they can't get in our way. Just keep walking and they'll move. That is, if they want to keep their careers. He glares at Fukudamo as he says those last few words. Perhaps I'll ask again later. He slowly backs away and blends in with the crowd. Argonon must have intimidated him into submission. But it's for the best, and I'm thankful. I wouldn't have known what to do on my own. Follow me, and do not engage. Singe will tell you the truth of things, and you don't want to say something stupid. I nod, as I find his counsel invaluable. We keep walking, and I make sure Keela is in tow. Inumi is following us as well, completely unfazed. He must be used to the limelight by now. Being Clace's brother, he'd probably get lots of attention. I look back at the limo. A large crowd blocks Jade's attempt to leave. I feel sorry for her. She's stuck with the press. Not used to all the eyes on you, eh? Not at all. As soon as he says that, it hits me, and a sense of anxiety starts to rise within me. If I was being watched, it could be anybody here. I ask him if he can walk faster, but then I get another text message. I pull my phone out with extreme apprehension. I'm unable to display a calm composure. I'm sure I could play it off as fear of the crowd. Archeron has no idea what's happening on my end. Worried, aren't you? Good. Okay, now it's very clear that I'm being followed. And they're close enough to see me my worry as well. I scan my surroundings, but everyone is watching me. They certainly picked the perfect time to watch. I'd never be able to find out who it was in this crowd. I start to panic and cling even closer to Archeron. I give him a gentle nudge, pushing him to move faster. He seems to take my signal and thankfully obeys. It isn't much longer until we get inside. We're promptly greeted with the illusion of safety. I take a large breath as soon as we get inside. For some reason, it feels like I'm safe. It's odd how one door can make such a difference. Inumi scurries away as soon as we get inside. The windows are dimmed, so it's not too bright. But this bodes well for someone in my situation. If I was being watched, they couldn't do it now. I stand relieved in the lobby with Archeron and Aquila. Is Inumi here? Did a good job out there. You were overwhelmed, but that's normal. You handled yourself admirably. Thanks. If only he knew I was actually worried. Actually, perhaps I should tell him. He'd be the last person I'd want to hide this from. And he'd probably know exactly how to respond. I'll wait until I could talk with him in private. I want you two to wait right here. I'll go up and find out what Singe is. Do me a favor, and don't wander. Yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah, we'll do like a... Yeah, I think I have a voice for him. Like it's sort of a slight Oz, but not too harsh. Because it's Tokyo. I mean, he might be Australian. Who knows? He walks towards what I assume is the reception desk. I turn to Keela and ask him if he's okay. So far, it's been impossible to get a read on him. I know he's prone to zoning out, but it's kind of been unreal.
I'm good. I'm just overwhelmed. I mean, what are the odds of this? Nothing has gone our way since we've gotten here. We'll get involved with the media now. They'll probably even dig up our pasts. I'm not cool with that, Tantroo. Luck is definitely not on our side.
He's right. This was supposed to be luxurious. Our every dream was expected to become a reality. Saying that this hasn't happened is an understatement. I'm gonna take a pause here and take a note of something. It's like these guys were popular even when they were alive. You don't think the press, if this big publicity thing was... What I'm saying is the media was probably going to dig up your past anyway, regardless if Clay's died or not, right? It's like they didn't come to mind at all. Just saying. It went south in almost every way imaginable. I tell Keela that everything will be okay. Although I don't know whom I'm trying to convince, there's a lot more on my plate with the fate of Terra. So I simply say we should wait until we talk to Singe.
Yeah, you're right.
He turns away and starts to inspect the lobby. It's rather massive, and it doesn't look really foreign at all. In fact, makes me feel at home. Very modern. I don't stray away at Archeron's behest. Acheron? Acheron. Okay. Pronunciate. Instead, I look at the TVs attached to the wall. Plural, or... I think that apostrophe's wrongly placed. They're all looking at news report, and they're all playing a news report recorded earlier. It must have been a story of interest to Tokyo's citizens. As a few moments pass, I realize that's true, but it happens to be of great interest to me as well. Hello, Fukumoto here. I've been lucky enough to snag an interview right here on the streets of Akihabara. This is very spontaneous, people. Sorry for the background noise, but I think you'll enjoy our guest. The guy seems to get around. There are no other news reporters in Japan? She arrived in Tokyo a few weeks ago, but she's been under scrutiny ever since. Well, we're here for the real story. And we'll get it from the woman herself. Everybody welcome Maxine Armstrong, the CEO of Armstrong Incorporated. It's my pleasure to be here, Fukumoto-san. It's that woman that I've run into multiple times. Didn't think she was special enough to get her own report. For those who are not in the know, Maxine came... Please, call me Max. I bet you she's the one giving me texts. Very well, Max. You came here from the United States. But nobody knows the real reason why. This has made a lot of people uneasy, given the nature of your business. Chemical and explosive weaponry, right? Some would say you deal in war. That's actually incorrect, Fukumoto. Armstrong Incorporated desires protection. We sell an item that is useless on its own. Our products are a security measure. Any other use is a buyer's fault. We provide a means, not anything else. We have a very thorough selection process. Clients are all giving mental health exams. We ensure the client is fit, you see. The tabloids always exaggerate things, but you're no stranger to that yourself. I want protection for everyone, not war. Many of our clients are government suits, but celebrities are within our realm too. If a weapon goes off, it is only to protect. It's easy to make it sound like I'm bad, but the weapons I sell guarantee safety. It is not my fault if they are misused. Oh, I see. Thanks for explaining. I am a very good reporter. I am a very good reporter. I'm a very... No. Boo, Fukumoto. Come on, follow-up questions. Come on, dude. That is an admirable mission statement. Which, if she was popular as she says she is probably something you probably would have heard multiple times and knew the talking point before you interviewed her. You can kind of tell. You can kind of tell when I know. It's like this is not how the press acts. Because I write for a furry news site. I know that how the free people act. Your parents must be proud of you, Max. Oh my gosh, she's even gushing over. This character. I hate you. I hate you so bad. I just, like, everything he says is wrong. Everything he says is wrong. Everything he says is wrong. Now, here's the thing. I'm sort of neutral on the whole gun control crap, so that's not... It has nothing to do with it. But if a reporter's a reporter and this person's a controversial figure and they're an important figure, then they should know their backstory. Well, I guess it's sort of okay, so it's sort of a critic on the writing, too, because it's like, it's sort of expositional, because we're trying to figure out her character, so I guess the reporter has to be clueless on her character so that we know her character when he's talking about her. Anyways, ramble aside, anyways, but can you understand the unease? Some people are scared of your presence, especially since you've been keeping secrets. But now, Japan is your audience. Do you have anything to say? Something that'll put us at ease. Unfortunately, I do not. My purpose here is confidential. However, no harm will come to your citizens. My presence here should put you at ease. I offer the most advanced products possible. I could even stop these midnight deaths. There you have it, folks. Max is here to stop the murders. An amazing goal. Bravo, Max. Have a good night. Have a good night, DDX. That's not what I said. That's all we have time for today. But rest easy, we're all safe. Armstrong is here for a noble purpose. This is Fukumoto signing off. Whoa, that was pretty heavy. I've heard of Armstrong Incorporated before, but this was my first time hearing about its owner. I never would have thought it was her. I'll have to talk to her about it if I see her again. She did express interest in getting to know me better. I see that Acheron is on his way back. Hopefully now we'd get to meet with Singe. I was dying to hear an official statement about this. I await our next move, and as I walk towards my friends. Hey, thanks for staying put, you two. The conference won't start for a while now. Yep, yep. Ugh. So we can go and pass the time upstairs. Renting this place must be expensive. Singe's pockets go real deep, it seems. Well, anyway, I guess we should go. Those people outside are really loud. And a headache is the last thing I want. It should be more quiet upstairs. Starts walking towards the stairs. Me and Killa follow him without question. I guess it was almost instinctual. If he was our protection, we need to stay close. And that's what we did as we ascended the stairs. We leave the frenzy of the media behind us, but unfortunately not for good. It was quieter up here, just like Acheron had hoped. He presses his back to the wall and watches us. Then he scoots around, looking left to right. He definitely has a good vantage point from here. Killa leaves my side as well as he tries to find a seat. Eventually, he situates himself in a nice leather chair. I see a lot of familiar faces around the room. Rook is using his tablet, and Anumi is pacing around. Oh, nice of you to join us, Anumi. We thought we lost you back there. But then I see some not-so-familiar faces. Although I feel like I recognize them from television. It's almost like everybody important to Clace was here. Maybe they were just as clueless as I was about this. I guess I wasn't the only one who wanted some answers. It wasn't long before Rook looks up from his tablet. He notices me and starts to walk in my direction. I wonder how he's handling all this. Hey Tantroo, nice to see you made it. I'm assuming this new guy is Acheron? Too bad that last guard just ran off. Ran off? What does he mean by that? Anyway, no beating around the bush. You're here, so you must know the truth. Last night, Clace was murdered. He says it with such an emotionless way. It's hard for me to tell if it's even bothering him. Instead of prying, I tell him that I did know the truth. I saw Fukumoto reporting live on television last night, past midnight. Oh, Fukumoto, I hate that guy. You and me both, brother. He stretches the truth almost every time. You like red? You're a communist. Don't judge me for my fur color, man. I have no idea how he got that job. He twists words, like the tabloids. I'm surprised he works for a real station. That's true. I did see his interview with Max. I let Rook know that he tried to interview me as well. He mentioned that this was all a publicity stunt. Of course he'd mention that. Listen, don't take him seriously. You learn that pretty quick here in Tokyo. But the general population loves him. Honestly, I'm not able to see why. He's just a sham, a sensationalist. It was harshly worded, but he had some wisdom. Singe is just getting ready. Shouldn't be much longer. Maybe you should get to know the crew. Everyone's still in shock, of course, but some friendship might help them. Uniting is what we need to do right now. Rook turns his head and notices someone approaching. It's a fox with a guitar. and he steps with a purpose. I guess Rocker is a fine place to start. He's definitely a knowledgeable man. Wait. Wait, a compliment from Rook? Wow, it must be my birthday. Don't flatter yourself. Hey, you're the one that said it. He bows to Rook as a gesture of respect. He then does the same to me, wearing a large smile. Sorry, I'm not the one for shaking hands, but with much respect, it's my pleasure. I am Rocker. Nice to meet you, Tantroo. I hesitantly give him a bow to introduce myself too. Oh my, a Saikairai? Tantroo, I don't deserve that. Come on, Rocker, not right now. No need to make his day any worse. This is very important, though. Tantroo, that was an incorrect bow. You went far too low just now. A bow like that is for an apology, or for addressing someone of status. I mean, exceptionally high status. Furthermore, your back was bent as well. You should keep it straight. A crooked bow can be seen as disrespectful. Try to remember this simple fact. To most, a 15-degree bow is fine. Around here, it's called an esaku. It's meant for equals. And I don't mean to rag on you, but I hate for you to offend somebody. Well, this is my signal to leave. I don't need one of your famous lectures. I've heard way too much about Japan now. Rook gives him a very crooked and low brow, as if to mock the entire lesson. Crooked and low bow. Oh, he gives a crooked and low bow as if to mock the entire lesson that Rocker just gave. I'm surprised he didn't scare you away. If I were you, I would have run. He can be very rude without knowing it. He thinks he's joking or something, but it always comes off as crass. He's not the best at social interaction. Regardless about my feelings of Rook, it's true. In fact, Rocker's lesson was refreshing. He did give it to legitimately inform me about bows, not to judge me or berate me like Rook would always do. I thank him and try and give him a bow as he explained. 15 degrees with a straight back. You catch on fast, I like that. We'll get along just fine, Tantroo. I know we have spare time before the speech. If you want to hang out, feel free. Of course, you'll meet Shock too. When he says Shock, it all becomes clear. Shock and Rocker were Clace's lead guitarists. They performed some of the most legendary solos. I'm starstruck as he walks away, almost in disbelief. I've heard a lot about their music, and it was awesome. But here he was, talking to me so casually. If I knew who he was at first, I would have panicked. Both Rocker and Rook had a very good point. I had some time to waste before Sinja's speech began. And there are so many interesting people up here. I'd love to get to know each and every one of them. Well, I already knew Rook and Keela good enough. But Archon is still a mystery, as was Anumi. And Shocker and Rocker are quite enticing as well. Hanging out with a rock star duo would be awesome. Unfortunately, I couldn't hang out with all of them. I stay in place, contemplating my next actions. Would you like to save your game? Yes. Once again, there was no decision up until this point. Overwrite, yep. But we are about to make one. Prepare yourselves, audience. So Rook's Affliction's -1, Keela's 1, True Flag getting 2, total saves 14. Alright. Who should I hang out with to pass the time? Alright, we're going to give you a few minutes. I got, I think, one person here now. So, if that one person, and their one person's probably not using the chat, would like to type if I talk with Akaran or with Shock and Rocker, So with the rock stars or with the security guard? But if you don't answer, then I'll just answer in a minute. Because gotta compensate for stream lags. For extreme lags. Do 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 do. Boom, boom, Archeron. Okay, we'll just do Archeron then. Everyone left. It had 5 people here at one point. They all went away. I guess the rocker dude, yeah, he kind of does droll a bit, and he's kind of, I don't like him as a character. It's like, I'm fine with like culture and heritage and all that stuff, but he seems a little too Japan obsessed. I guess you say he's too weeble, man. I can't deal with it. It's like to me it's like but it's like even with my own culture, like if I would never be someone who would like talk someone's ear off about America. You know what I mean? It's just like not my style. I decided it would be best to visit Archon. Get to know our protector would be very important. And perhaps I could tell him about those texts. If anybody knew what to do, it would be him. He's standing in the same spot he was before. His head's still rotating left to right, as if it was on a motor. I hope I didn't interrupt his work or anything. It seems like he's definitely in the zone. Hey there. Something on your mind? He catches me a little off guard. Was it really so obvious? Trust me, it's my line of work. Reading faces is the most important thing. You look distraught, maybe even sad. However, I realized my question was stupid. Given the situation, it's obvious. Everyone is thinking about the same thing. Forgive my indiscretion. It won't happen again. His apology is so sincere that I accept it anyway. I have to be honest with you. I feel a little out of place here. Everyone in this room must have known Kleiss, but I don't know who he was. I mean, other than he's a singer. I feel detached. Yet there's one thing I know about grief. It impairs judgment, creates vulnerability. I hope I don't seem rude when I say this, but I think it's better that we never met. I need a level head here, you know what I mean? Mental clarity is extremely important. I have to detect things that others can't. And trust me, there's a lot to detect. There's so many subtle nuances at play. If I missed out on that, it'd cause chaos. People project things without knowing. You can tell when somebody wants to attack. It sends a sense. It's easy to sense in their words. Or if they're silent, their movement. I can't afford to have my mind clouded. If I was impaired, you wouldn't be safe. In fact, you'd probably be sitting ducks. He seems to know a lot about this stuff. I could sense a lot of wisdom in his words. It feels good to have my life in his hands. With him here, we'd all be kept alive. So, what do you want to talk about? We still have lots of time to spare. Yeah, but perhaps not as much as we think. Singe could call the meeting at any second. If only I could bring up one thing, what should it be? Alright. We might have a new person in here now, so we have 3 choices. The choices are, I've been getting these weird texts, or tell me about your past, or so what brings you here? So if you wish, you can make a decision, and if you don't make a decision, then I will make a decision for you. Listen, I told you that I'm quite busy, and could you, like, if you're gonna talk about something, we gotta talk about something, you know, just gotta talk about something. You wanna talk about something, you gotta spit it out. You gotta spit it out. If you don't spit it out, I ain't gonna know what you want to talk about. So I'm gonna give you a minute, collect your thoughts while I'm looking around trying to make sure we don't get shot or nothing. Hello? Hello? Okay. Alright. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna go with... Nobody's responding. So, we're just gonna go with, I've been getting these weird texts. It's probably best for me to bring up those messages. I pull out my phone and start explaining things to him. Someone is watching you? So long has it been since the first text? I tell him it was just before we drove here. The moment before I left the hotel with Keela. So, after his death then. That would be cause for concern. And they're using an unknown number? So they must want to hide their identity. But the issue here is, they must be lying. Huh? They said they were watching you? Both at the hotel and outside? They need to be following in a vehicle. There's no other explanation. They couldn't keep up with the limo. I saw no other vehicles following us. He stares at the text message for a few moments. It's almost like he's analyzing their demeanor. Can he do such a thing? Do text messages alone? Oh, you can do that. I've done that. They mention the universe? That to me seems like petty trolling. Metaphysical jargon is a dead giveaway. Maybe your number was leaked online? You don't exactly blend in anymore. You're one of the lucky two. Either way, I can't help much more. Text messages are hard to look into. Things can get lost in translation. But if your information was leaked, well, that's no laughing matter. I'll be here to protect you, Tantroo. He gives a wide grin. Well, I guess he knows. I feel a little safer in having kept this to myself. I thank him for his counsel. No problem, that's what I'm here for. Please talk to me about any concerns. Your worries are the utmost importance. I guess that's enough chit-chat for now. I feel like Sinja's about to be ready any second. Not sure about you, but I want answers. I have way too many questions to ask him. I don't trust the media, of course. I need to hear it from the man himself. Place's tour manager, the leader. I require the truth in order to operate. I can't act on half-truths and gossip. That's just a recipe for disaster. Make sure you keep that in mind, alright? I can't help you unless you're transparent. I'm not able to read minds, unfortunately. I nod, since that's a small price to pay. But at the same time, I know I can never be honest. I'll have to hide some information about the Ark, as well as my role on Terra. He'd never believe me. I just have to hope that he can never detect that. It wasn't relevant to anything on Earth at all. And no need to bring an innocent bystander and get an innocent bystander involved. Oh, and one more thing before we end this. On the note of being fully honest with me. I saw a news report earlier. It mentioned Maxine Armstrong. She's in Tokyo, and this bothers me. He saw it too. That's interesting. I didn't think he'd be the type to care. Armstrong Incorporated is very unethical. In fact, they compete with guards like me. They protect through selling weapons. Think about it this way, Tantroo. Would you rather have me here, or bombs that can accidentally detonate? It's too unstable in this day and age. Almost anything can be hacked now. Doing that to weapons would be devastating. The mind, however, cannot be hacked. I mean, it can definitely be manipulated. Yeah, it's called social engineering, sir. That's called life hacks. Literal life hacks. But not in the same way, and not as fast. So what do you say? Protection by living beings or by weapons? Now, That's a security guard in you, sir, speaking. Like, oh, the mind's not easy to manipulate. Oh, trust me, there are some easy manipulated people out there. Let me tell you what. You can go on for hours on that. Protection by living beings or by weapons? Which would you prefer? Technology or a real thing? Well, because I want to be on this guy's good side, I will say the real thing, because that'll give me a bonus point in his happiness. Of course. I'm glad that someone's on my side. Most people are siding with technology these days, but it can't ever replace real people. Some things still require deep thought. The protection of others is one such thing. I never trust a machine with my life. Well, thanks for the chat, Tantroo. It's not often I get to talk about myself. Clients are rarely interested in my life. They usually only care about my ability. He goes back to what he was doing before, scanning the room with his back to the wall. I guess Singe would start the conference soon. Not enough time to hang out with someone else. Would you like to save your game? Yep. And there were some choices there, so... But, also, I think I'm going to wrap it up for tonight, because it's an off day, and been going for about an hour 15-ish. And we're moving right along. We're on Chapter 4 out of, like, I think there's 11, according to sort of the achievements. So, we'll get there. We'll get there. Won't be here tomorrow, but I'll try to get an episode of Rooview up on Sunday, which should be very good. So we're gonna say a goodbye for now, and we will see you next time. So next Friday at 8:30 Eastern Time, we will continue our major minor story. Leave a comment in the comment below which voices suck. All of them. But anything that you want to discuss or talk about or give an idea as to like anything like that, always feel free to leave suggestions on things I could do better or any of that. Not much of an audience here tonight, but I know one of my regulars is working, probably for the most part. And it was very good to have you watch. So I will get the hop out of here. Be sure to kick a like, kick a subscribe, kick a comment in the comment section. I'm going to get the hop out of here. Thank you very much for watching.